Welcome back to my channel Conquer the Fear. In this video we are going to discuss about JPA for beginners, CRUD operations with the simple examples. Now before going into the code, I would like to tell you what exactly the JPA is about. Okay, JPA is nothing but a Java specification. So it will match, is going to manage, it is going to persist, it is going to access your database between the Java objects, and there is a relational databases. So this is going to be a bridge between these two things. Okay, so it is going to make use of it. It is works with the ORM, so that is specially called object relational mapping frameworks. Like, if you have heard of Hibernate, so this is kind of a similar. So but Hibernate and JPA is little bit different. Okay, but when it comes to using it, it's kind of almost similar. But yeah, but before going to JPA, developer used to commonly use the JDBC, so Java Database Connectivity, or earlier they used to use Hibernate as a standalone ORM tool for database interaction. Now, what was the disadvantage with JDBC was that we used to write lot of boilerplate codes, which, like opening the connection is there, writing the SQL queries, mapping the result with the Java objects manually. You have to write that particular process, right? So it was very time consuming, and it was also very error prone method. Now, Hibernate has simplified with the help of this ORM, but it was a third-party framework and it has got its own API. Okay, it's an implementation. Okay, so if you see Java JPA, right, it was a standardized. So it is a specification which is going to unify your ORM approaches. Okay, so which will also reduce your lock-in and other things, right? So you will only perform simple operations, CRUD operations, and also it will make use of the annotations, and also it has got lot of interfaces. Okay, so it is going to be much cleaner, and it is going to be much more maintainable. Okay, so I think a lot of theory part has happened. Let's jump into the code. Now here, if you see, this is one of the application I've created, and actually I've imported into the IntelliJ. Now before going to this particular code, I would like to tell you like what all things I have added as a dependency. Okay, so here if you see, I've added the data JPA, the web, and the S2 database. So S2 database is nothing but an in-memory databases, so it doesn't have to manually install like MySQL or any other databases. So this is an on-fly database. At the runtime it will be created, and then you can make use of it. Okay, now post to that, as this video is about the basics of what is JPA and also the CRUD operation, as I promised, I will like to tell you that what are the simple CRUD operations, right? So when it comes to the CRUD operations, right, now what is CRUD operation does it means is that it is going to be a create, delete, update, okay, and read. Okay, now what we'll do is that I will start from the model. Okay, now I will open the model. So for saving the time, actually I've already created the model over here. So we are focusing on the student, so the example is the real world example what I'm trying to take. Now when you're dealing with an entity or an object, right, and when you wanted to persist into the database, you have to store it somewhere, right? So basically we make use of the Java Jakarta persistence things actually. Now if you look at this particular thing, right, if you highlight this particular thing, okay, it is part of this particular library. Now if you see, this is Jakarta persistence. If you see, this is the JPA. Okay, now what all things are there inside this? It is marked as an entity over here, and this has got the constructor over here, and has also got the ID as a primary key. Okay, and I've added the ID, and then other I've get a setters and the values. So name and age of for this particular student is created. Now once we have this particular entity, now this is the exact which is going to be stored in the database. Okay, now let's move on to the student repository. So next step is that we have to create a repository. Now if you are aware of the REST API, right, this particular it works from the layers, right? So the way the when you the client requests something, right, it is going to first land on the controller. second it is going to call the from the controller, it goes to the service, and from the service it goes to the repository, and from the repository it is going to the database. Okay, so that's how the flow works. Now we already looked into the student, that model. Now we are going to look into the repository over here. Okay, so now we have actually added the repository, and now we have extended this particular JPA repository. Now JPA repository is one of the core I would say interface. Now if you look at this particular interface, it is going to extend, see here, it is extending the list, it is going to list and pagination, right? So this is going to extend that as right, and query by executor. Okay, so these are all the, if you go and see, right, there are different methods over here. So one is save and flush is there, find all is there. Okay, this will be there. Now if you go to the actual, this one, right, list CRUD, and this will see there are only two methods over here. But if you go to this particular CRUD repository here, right, now you see all the find by id is there. So this is specific id, you're saving something, you are updating something, you're finding, you're deleting something, and also you are updating something, right? So you can use this particular thing ultimately, and then you can save this, right? So these are all the methods which are provided here internally. Okay, so once the repository is taken care, okay, now then comes this service part. Okay, now I have written the service part over here. Now if you look at this particular thing, I have marked it as an @service over here, and I have auto wired that particular repository, so it will automatically inject that. And then if you see here, I have written the APIs over here, calling over. Now we'll go to the controller, but yeah, these are all the methods which are required. Okay, so these are all the CRUD operations. Now this is for creating is, now this is for getting all the students. Now it is getting for all the single student, right, by ID. Now you want to update something. Okay, and then ultimately you want to delete something. Okay, now if you look at this particular thing, now let's move on to the controller. Now we already looked out the service, right? So now if you see here, I have actually marked this as a REST controller, and then I am actually adding the request mapping over here. Okay, now under this I have whatever add the service. As in the starting I have already told that the request lands on the controller, and the controller goes to the service to the repository, and the service and the repository to the database. So now we have looked into from book model, student model till this particular controller. So we are looking into the reverse thing. Okay, so now all the methods which you looked into the service, right, we are called over here. Now create is called over here. We'll look into the each one of them. Okay, and then get all, then get by id. Okay, and this update, and then delete. Okay, now we'll first look into the create one as of now, that is the CRUD operation, the very first thing. So now if you see, this is marked as an post mapping. Now whenever we are calling the get, right, so it is going to be posted, right? So we are storing something on the server, right, that is the database. So we are trying to create something and resource over there. So we are passing this particular thing, and then we are creating it. Okay, and then it will be stored up. Now this will call the repository service over here. And this is the service. If you see, now this is again will call the repository. Okay, now get all. Now in this, under this, there will be a find all method, right? Now under this, if you see this, now if you, one thing to notice over here, it is get mapping, and there is a variable in this particular curly braces. Now what this denote is that it's a path variable. So in the URL, when you are trying to request some specific id, it is going to map with this particular id, and then it is going to call this particular thing. Now this will be find by id. Okay, this will be calling by the find by id, or else it will throw a null. Okay, similar case is for this particular put mapping. Now put mapping is something where you want to update something inside the already existing element. Okay, so here actually I've already, let's say I've created this particular thing, right? Now under that I want to update something specific element inside that. So I can update anything inside that, right? So here I pass it, and it is going to update. Now under the update, there is no separate method as of now to write here in this. But yeah, ultimately it is going to update some values, and then it will be, first it is going to find it, and then it is going to update, and then it is going to save it. Okay, In Hibernate used to provide the update, but here actually we have save all, save, and then we have the last thing is deleting. Okay, so what will happen is that when you want to delete some student, I can pass that particular ID, it will be deleted. Okay, now in many cases this might be a soft delete, but here actually I'm trying to delete from the database, so that to it's an hard delete, not a soft delete. Okay, so similarly here also it will call the delete by ID. Okay, now as this particular thing is as we already walked through this particular controller, right? Now I think everything is in place. Now only to link to look into is the application dot properties. Now I have configured here the URL, the database name, the username and password, and the dialect and etc. And also I have enabled the console. Okay, now what we'll do is that we'll clean build this particular application. So go to the Maven, and then what we can skip this particular test cases, and then we can actually clean and install this. Okay, now it is successfully created. Okay, now I will minimize this. Now what I will do, I will start this particular application. Okay, now before I start it, I want to tell you one thing is that this is the main class where this particular application gets started. Okay, and you must be already knowing this is the combination of all the three: configuration, component scan, and other things, right? Now here actually at the start of this particular application, I'm trying to insert some student data in the database, so that you when you're trying to retrieve something, it will be very handy. Okay, now I will run this application. Now if you see, this is started on the port 1991, right? Okay, now if you see, I have opened this particular browser. As I already told, it's an in-memory database. I will be able to log in from this particular console. Okay, now if you look at this particular thing, you should see already seeing the data, pre-data already loaded over here. Okay, now I have imported the, I've actually configured those particular endpoints over here. Now the very first thing what we are going to do is that I'm going to create some uh, this one. Okay, now I'm going to create a student. So I have created the name with the John Beer, and then the age is 22. So now I create, this is the post method, and then I'm going to call this particular endpoint here. So the create method will be called up. uh, Actually I missed it, the ID over here, so I have actually added the ID over here. Okay, and then I've given the manual number over here. The ID is not getting automatically generated. I've kept it as a manual thing. So what I will do, I will create this particular resource. Now you see in the database it will be created up. Okay, now I have the next URL over here. I am going to find all the students which are there. Now it should return three of the database from the database, because now freshly we have created this one. Okay, so that is getting all the data from the database, right? Earlier in the start of the application we have created this. Okay, now if I want to find some specific ID, I will going to call this. Now you see, sometime back we created this, we are going to get this. Okay, now I'm going to update some element inside this particular thing. So what I will do, I'm going to take up this particular thing, and actually I'm going to change this age to 27. Now you see the age is changed, and then the ID and I name are same, but the age has been changed up for this. Now let's say I want to delete the first element which I have created earlier. Now you see that this 200 is that it is created. Okay, so that's the reason. Now if I go to this particular get all, right, uh, yeah, now if I run this, there will be only two of. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this video was very helpful to you, and it got an understanding of the basic understanding of what is JPA. Okay, and what are the CRUD operations, when we are trying to perform with the help of Spring Data JPA. So we have covered create, update and delete. Okay, so if this video was helpful, please share it with the needy people. Also don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching.